Hi, welcome back to another video feature of the Immersive Worlds Handbook. Just behind me, you might see the Russian pavilion here at the World Expo. And people have described this as a mirrored ski jump. And I wanted to use this image as an opportunity to focus on iconic architecture here at the World Expo in Milan. I wanted to comment a little bit on the significant architecture. You know, World Expos have been known certainly for the fact that you can introduce so much iconic design, architecture, technology, really anything to the world. And certainly, as you see maybe behind me, some of the iconic architecture, you know, this expo is no different in that sense in terms of giving the guest a sense of something new in terms of design. Just behind me is the Tree of Life, which also has, of course, rather iconic status. It's hard to see in my viewfinder, but I think you can maybe see it behind me. So another realization, I think, when you come to a World Expo is seeing the intensity of the architecture that's provided to the guest. Okay, so behind this you see the Tree of Life, and you know, the Expo Tradition, going back to the 1893 Expo, the World's Columbian Exposition, there was always an iconic standout feature. So at the Expo in '93, you had, of course, the very first iconic Ferris wheel. The later expos in New York, the Triathlon, the Perisphere, you think of Montreal, you also think of certainly Seattle, and some of the more iconic structures are associated with the World's Fairs. And so this is certainly keeping with that tradition of the World Expo having such an iconic structure for the guests to see. In terms of any of the architecture at the Expo that is dramatic, you have to look no further than the Italian pavilion, which I mentioned in another video has this important dynamic concrete that will actually absorb some of the pollutants. Beyond that, as you've seen with some of the other architecture here, very iconic, a structure that suggests, at least in the Expo guide, that as a part of nature suggests a nest, a nursery, but clearly in its postmodern style, it moves way beyond anything that we could call natural. Okay, so one of the things, as I struggle to have my voice heard on camera, that's important at any Expo is finding your way around. And certainly there are multiple smart stations around the Expo that you can use. Of course, there's also the good old-fashioned theme park way, which is to use your map right here. And as I've done, I've checked off stuff and tried to circle the pavilions that, if I can get the map here, which is quite huge, circle the pavilions which are important for me to see, the ones I haven't seen and so forth. And the other thing we get on the map are the various architectural styles. So I hope you enjoyed this video feature today here on iconic architecture just outside the Russia Pavilion at the Milan World Expo. And please come back for additional video features of the Immersive Worlds Handbook.